What's up creators, it's your boy, Mad Mike. On today's episode, we're going to be stripping all the paint off the rear grills on the Ferrari kit car, so stay tuned, check it out. This is my 1985 Pontiac Fiero Ferrari kit car. If you guys watched the last episode, did a little bit of motor work, just try to get the motor to run steadily so I can get the car up my steep driveway, load it onto the car trailer so we can go ahead and bring it into the paint shop. But today, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the grills off the back end of the car, use some paint stripper so I can get rid of all the old finish and get it ready for the new paint. So let's get after it. In the last episode, guys, you might have seen me monkeying around with the back end here in the engine bay. I went ahead, got a new air filter on it. I got all new grounds over there, new ground cable, new grounding strap, so that's all taken care of. And I noticed that my throttle position sensor is a little bit out of whack. So if I can turn it slightly this way, the idle will drop down to about 1,000. But if it's tilted in this direction, that's when I get my high idle. So I got a new TPS sensor on order, but in the meantime, we'll just tighten it up this location right here so I can drive the car around, spin the car around, and remove all the grills. All right, let's try to fire up the car. So, in the last video that I posted, I was having issues with keeping the car running, but I've since resolved those. I found out that it was my TPS sensor and a couple other grounding issues that I had. Let's go ahead, fire up the car, see if it'll stay running. Key in, let the fuel pump prime up. I can hear it kicking on. Neutral. All right, see what happens. Cold start. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. She's running. All right, back right of the carport. Enough room. All right, let's go ahead and pull up all the grills. That should hopefully give us enough space inside the carport to set up all the aluminum grills and start stripping the paint off them. I'm gonna throw a tarp on the back end of the engine because I got the engine cover removed right now. So let's go ahead and tarp that up. This is the grill I'm gonna pull off on the back side. Then I got two side grills here and here. Here's the rear grille section. This is what I'm dealing with here, guys. You can see these parts are, let me zoom in here. Focus, come on, you can do it. There we go. So all the grills on the car are aluminum, guys. You can see how they're all starting to flake off. I don't know if they had these powder coated. It's pretty good finish that they had on it, but this car's been sitting out in the weather for about 10 years. So obviously the paint's starting to flake and chip off. So I'm gonna go ahead and address that and just remove all the old paint and apply some new stuff. So yeah, we got the rear grille section right here. We'll just take a brush and kind of brush all the paint stripper on all the parts. This is for the engine cover. This is the rear part of it. It's got the same flaking happening on here. So hopefully the paint stripper works pretty good and just, I don't have to sand all this crap because sanding all this would take me forever. Hopefully I can just apply the paint stripper, bring it down to the power washer and just spray it all off. And these are the other two parts for the rear engine cover. So let's go ahead, I'll show you guys the paint stripper I picked up and I'll give you the lowdown on the paint stripper. All right, so what I picked up was just some eco-friendly paint stripper. Because I'm gonna be doing this outside and bringing it down to the pressure washer and washing it all off, I want something that's not gonna be too corrosive. Obviously this stuff here does have some chemicals in it, but as you can see, it's got the eco sign on it. got the leaf on it. It's got to be safe and friendly for the environment, I guess. Also, we picked up some solvent-proof gloves because you definitely don't want to get paint stripper onto your hands, as well as make sure to wear some safety glasses. Don't get it on your skin, don't get it in your eyes, don't breathe it. It actually says on the back here not to smoke it. I don't know what all that is about, but don't smoke it. Got my glasses on, gonna get my gloves on. Let's grab the paintbrush, start dabbing it in. As you guys can see, I got the back end of the car all tarped off. It's pouring rain outside, so hopefully the engine bay doesn't get too wet with the engine cover off. Let's start stripping. I got some pretty heavy layers of the paint stripper laid down onto these grills. Here you can already see it starting to activate and bubble up. So I just got to do this one last rear grill here for the Ferrari Fiero replica. There you have it, guys. We put all the paint stripper onto all the grill pieces. We're gonna go ahead and let that sit for a couple minutes, come back with a scraper, try to scrape it off. If that doesn't work, we'll go over to the pressure washer, hit it with some high pressure water. Lays down really nice with the brush. You're able to just spread it out pretty good. Put on a nice heavy coat. You can already see the stuff starting to work. You can see how it's dissolving the paint there. So if I came in with a scraper right now, that stuff would just scrape right off. All right, got my scraper. We're gonna start scraping, but one thing I did notice was you can see how this part here, the paint held on pretty well. It's not flaking off too bad compared to like these two grills over here. What I found was when the stripper gets underneath the paint, it comes off way easier. Check this out. See how that just curls right off? Well, if you look over here at the ones that have a lot of coatings on it still, it takes a while. I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on to scrape that off. So I'm probably gonna go ahead, scrape this, apply another coat. These ones here that are already kind of flaking, if I start to scrape it, look at that. Comes off like butter. Stoked. You can see some yellow underneath there. I don't know if that's a primer that they use or if they put body filler over these to smooth it out, but there's a lot more coatings on these two grills than there are on this one. You can see this one here. I'll scrape it off. It's just black. There's no yellow or any kind of primer or body filler on these grills. So these ones here, I might have to do 2 coats of the paint stripper, but it looks like on these 2 grill sections, I'll be able to get away with just the 1 coat. Let's go ahead and show you guys some satisfying results here. As you can see, we got the rear grill off of the Ferrari kit car. Let's go ahead and try to scrape this and I'll show you guys how good this works. Boom. Just like that, guys. I don't have to sand it, I don't have to grind it, I don't have to do anything weird. Sandblasting would be my next best option, but paint stripping. It's a little bit time consuming, but it works great. So if you guys are looking to strip down any paint off the parts that you guys got, I highly recommend picking up some paint stripper. This stuff here, the eco-friendly stuff, I haven't had any issues with it. I thought maybe it wouldn't be as strong as the heavy-duty strippers. It might be a little bit, but it's working fine for me, so let's go ahead and keep stripping. What's up guys, it's day 2. Last night I finished stripping all the paint off of the parts. So as you can see, there is still a little bit of kind of black paint in the corners and whatnot. So I went down to the pressure washer to get rid of all the chemical. Today I'm just gonna go ahead and scuff sand all the parts, and tomorrow on Monday, I'll bring them down to the paint shop and we'll get them painted. Let's get after it. Well guys, all the grills have been paint stripped, sanded down. That's gonna be it for today's episode. So make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time. Ciao, ciao.